Good evening, YouTube. Good evening, good evening. This video, I want to pretty much touch on be more than your circumstance. And I always say the reason I thought of this, because there's always a reason when I bring any type of topic, as a video, because I think a lot. I always try to find things that I feel could be, just an inspiration or a touch to somebody that maybe need to hear it. And the reason why I thought of be more than your circumstance is because I see like a lot of youth, and I see like just a lot of young folks, and it's like they have every excuse in the world of why they do some of the things they do. Like they might have every excuse in the world why either they turn into alcoholics. They might have every excuse in the world maybe why they weed heads. Weed heads is the main thing. Weed heads, you got a lot of young folks that say, well, weed ain't even a drug. Weed is natural, and I don't know why you keep getting on me, Ma, about smoking weed. Weed. Well, I smoke weed because I've been through a lot in my life, and weed helps me to cope with it. And weed does. Weed do help you cope, and marijuana will keep you calm. But with some people, it can have you where you are lazy, good for nothing, to where you either smooching off people, living off your parents, living off your girlfriend, living off your boyfriend, doing stuff that you can be more productive with. So, be more than your circumstance. There's a lot of people that come up in poverty. There's a lot of people that come up in single parent households. There's a lot of people dealing with problems from being traumatized, maybe from you being raped, maybe being traumatized because your father wasn't in your life, maybe being traumatized for anything. And being traumatized can cause a person to have all type of different behaviors or even all types of mental illness. But that don't have to be the end all, because you don't have to be a victim of your circumstance. You can be more than your circumstance. And the only way I feel to escape your circumstances and to be more than your circumstances, it first starts off with just knowing your self-value, knowing your self-worth, and even having a dream. Because sometimes you cannot have self-worth, you cannot have self-value, but if you a dreamer and you somebody that always wanted stuff despite the circumstances they was in, you are somebody that's going to come out of that circumstance because you first of all learned the law of attraction and you don't even know it. There's a lot of people don't believe that energy, like there's a bad energy, good energy, just energy in general that every person, human being, even animals emit. And there's a such thing as giving off bad energy. There's a such thing as giving off good energy. And even though you are surrounded by a lot of wolves, or you surrounded by a lot of bad situations and a lot of bad circumstance, but inside you got this positive energy. Inside you got this unbreakable dream. Inside you got this passion that you just won't lay down, because deep inside you know that you can get it if you just put some effort, if you put some work, and if you just keep on dwelling on a dream that you got. And everything that I'm talking about, I can attest to this wholeheartedly, testimony for sure. Because if I would have stayed a victim of my circumstance, first of all, when I had my first child at age 14, I would have let that stop me right there. Because I actually raised all my kids. I was a 14-year-old that had to drop out of school because I was a teenage mother. And luckily I met a godmother where she helped me, because I ended up having 2 kids by the time I met her. So I had my first kid 14 and my second kid at 16. So by that time, I'm just struggling trying to take care of babies, trying to take care of my babies. Because, the men didn't stick around. So I could have let that deter me running into guys that just get you pregnant and then run off and leave me with the responsibility. I could have let that deter me, and I almost did, because I dropped out of school. But then I met a godmother to where she saw something in me, and she saw that I did have a dream and I did have a passion. The only thing I needed was just a little help, and she helped me. So I went back to school, because I used to always see my mom going to school. I used to always see her make stuff happen out of nothing. Like she made it from the bottom until she made it to the top. I watched her go to college. I watched her buy a house. I watched her buy a car. I watched her get married. So in the back of my head, I had all this I had all this example of what I could have. And then I see my dad, I see him buying houses, I see him getting stuff, I see him being a go-getter. So between both of my parents being go-getters, I'm like, it's no excuse why I can't go get something. Okay, I messed up. I might have did things to where I put myself in a situation, but everybody makes mistakes. That is the glory of coming back from something and being more than your circumstance. The glory is that nobody's perfect. The glory is that everybody makes mistakes, but that don't mean you can't recover. The only way you can't recover if you die from that mistake, because you can't come back from death, or if you give up. If you simply give up and say, I cannot fix this, I really messed up, I can't get myself out of it, I quit, then you ain't going to recover because you're not doing nothing to get yourself out of what you got yourself in. We all make mistakes. We were all young and dumb. So that's another thing too. Like, a lot of people are from poverty-stricken states, and I myself am from a poverty-stricken state, which is Baltimore. Baltimore has a high rate of just people they trying to make it, man. And you got people trying to deal drugs on the corner. You got people robbing each other, people killing each other, just because everybody's stressed out just over the poverty level. And nobody's trying to rise above to be more than their circumstance. And they let the circumstance grip them. They let the circumstance be the chains around their ankles. And sometimes a lot of people that's in poverty-stricken states literally let the chains be real chains where you end up putting yourself in jail. You end up going out there acting out because of your circumstance, and you end up getting life in prison. Or you end up getting a felony. Now you got to fight that much harder because you got a felony. Or for a girl, you end up becoming a teenage mother. Or you end up becoming a single mother. Or you end up getting your heart broke because you're so lonely out of your circumstance that you don't know what to do in your lonely situation. Instead of taking time alone to deal with yourself, you rather go deal with this no good guy, or you rather go put this no good piece of crap guy in front of your kids instead of building your child up for the next generation and breaking that generational curse, or getting a guy that accepts you and your kids instead of trying to get you just for a piece of meat. That's just being real talk. Gotta rise above the circumstance. Everything, and I'm gonna always continue to say this no matter how many times I gotta say this, and hopefully it's sticking. Everything in life starts here. Everything from your thoughts, from your personality, from your inspirations, from your motivations, from your integrity, from what you believe in, from your culture, all that stuff gets embedded here. If you cannot fix this, you will never become more than your circumstance. Anytime every bad circumstance come your way, you will always be that circumstance instead of being more than the circumstance. You have to rise. If I can do it, you can. Because if I never rose above my circumstance, I'd be a psycho right now. I'd be a psycho. I'd be depressed. I'd be down and out. I'd be all that stuff because of so much stuff I've been through. But I chose to conquer it and overcome it and be more than my circumstance. I'm more than just I'm from Baltimore. I'm more than the fact I got kids. I'm more than that. I'm even more than a truck driver. I'm more than that. I'm more than that. I'm even more than Pinky. Like, Pinky is my name, but I'm more than that. There's more to me than my name. There's more to me than my occupation. There's more to me than my family. There's more to me than where I'm from. You have to see, a lot of times, a lot of people, don't know themselves. And then a lot of times, so many people are so judgmental and so hateful in spirit that they don't get a chance to read the book before they judge the book, before they judge the story. Like, a lot of people, and people have done this to me. People judge me to the point to where you didn't even understand to get to know why I act the way I do. You didn't even take the chance to get to know me to know if I'm a good person or not. You judging me because maybe I got 5 kids, or you judging me maybe because I am like from a poverty-stricken place, instead of trying to build me up or trying to get to know that I am a sweethearted person. I am somebody that'll give you my last off my back. I am that type, but you wouldn't know that because you're judging me. Gotta be more than where you from, man. Gotta be more than your circumstance. You gotta be more than that depression. Gotta come out of that. It's time. You have to stop letting things get the best of you, because that's life. You have more of the masses that are going through right now than more of the minorities that just got everything going super right. They have not, even people that is rich got problems. So this is a dare. I dare you that if you don't have a job, you ain't got no education, maybe your parents just wasn't there for you, maybe you dealing with abandonment issues, maybe you just dealing with just so much stuff of trauma, or you dealing with so much stuff of a broken heart, or you dealing with so much stuff of a broken spirit, I dare you to just think about what it is that you would like to have And it has to be positive. Think about something you would really like to accomplish. Think of something that you would really like to achieve. And once you figure out what you want to do, start making a goal list. Write down little small steps that you can start today to start getting to those things that you dream of day in and day out. And put that goal list either on your bathroom mirror, or put it on your refrigerator, or put it like next on the wall next to where you sleep, or put it somewhere where you know your eyes has to beam at it, so it can be a reminder to keep you on track. And I can guarantee you, if you continue those goal steps, eventually you'll see yourself progressing into a better place in your life. That's what I've done. I've struggled and I'm still struggling. Don't get it fucked up now. I'm doing good for myself. I'm making more money than I've ever made since I've gotten the trucking. You know, my kids getting older, they're getting out the way. I finally got a nice house, I've got nice cars. Like, I've always been a go-getter where I always get money.